In this video we'll illustrate how to adjust the contrast in images using features on the image processing dialog window. We'll load data from a SEM file and we'll convert to VAMAS, and when we perform the convert to VAMAS operation, the original data is written back in VAMAS format into the same directory where the original data file was located. The image processing dialog window has a color scale property page, and when you first display an image, the auto scale option, when it's ticked, will calculate thresholds so that the contrast is automatically set up. However, if we untick this box, we are then able to enter values to represent intensities, and the color scale will span the intensities we've entered. So we've lost the contrast because we've used a large value, larger than the maximum intensity within this image. If we display a histogram, you can then see the frequency of pixels for given intensities. So we're able to mark, using horizontal drag actions, different ranges of intensities that will be spanned by the color scale that is currently active. Another way of working out how to arrange the intensity interval over which the color scale will display pixels is by using a line scan and then vertical drag actions, and the vertical drag actions indicate again an interval of intensities which we can apply and see the contrast. For example, the hot spot in the middle can be emphasized by dragging across intensities from a line scan. The false color option also uses this idea of thresholds to help identify pixels you wish to color using false colors. So now let's have a look at loading a new file. So we're going to load a set of Auger images, and we need to tick the automatic scale limits box before we do this loading, because we would like to see these images using a scale that's appropriate for these images. And if it was not ticked, we would use the scale appropriate for the SEM. So having ticked it, these limits are calculated so we get an initial impression of what these images look like. But again, we can use the histogram on these Auger images, and we can indicate, for example, the more intense pixels span the more intense interval with the color scale, so we can highlight the features that were just all white in the automatic display. And once we've identified some features that we think are of interest and intensities that are of interest to us, you can calculate a new image using an option that gives you a calculator for generating a new VAMAS file using the threshold that's currently active. So we now have an image that physically has intensities related to those thresholds.